Hey, just Mark here. All right, so tonight I kind of went for a bit of a drive just because I got a lot going on in my head tonight. My video from a couple days ago is getting a lot of attention, and it kind of got me thinking about the times in my life where I didn't feel good enough or worthy enough or, important enough. And I'm looking at this video and going, okay, it was a slightly viral topic. And, as of the last time I checked, it's got about 1,300 views and about 60 or 70 watch hours. And I've gained almost 50 subscribers. And then I got thinking, gosh, am I worthy of this attention? Am I good enough to keep going? I mean, what else am I going to talk about? And I thought about it tonight on my drive here, and I'm actually sitting outside of Petro-Canada because there's a little bit of light, and it kind of helps a little bit. But think about the times in your life where people have told you you're not smart enough, you're not good looking enough, maybe you're not athletic enough, or that you're not worth their time. I remember back in grade 8, there was a teacher in the social studies, and I won't say her name. I don't know where she is now, but I remember her looking at our class, and we were part of what's called an integrated occupational program, which meant we were the kids who took a little bit longer to learn. We weren't very smart, and we needed more attention and more hands-on learning and more teacher focus. And people jokingly called us, in our school, the idiots on parade. So it was the IOP program, Idiots on Parade. And some of us even took that name to heart and utilized that name and called ourselves that. All of my life, I've had different people tell me that I needed to focus more, that I wasn't smart enough. And that definitely affected me as I was growing up. And I didn't do things because I didn't feel worthy or good enough, or that I could really succeed. And that's a hard thing to deal with, especially when you're in your formative years as a teenager or a young adult. And I know as I went on in life and stuff like that, it affected me. I remember applying for a program at university for an athletic therapist program. And my grades were not great from high school. And so I upgraded at one of the universities here in Calgary to get better grades in hopes of getting in this program. And I remember one of the, counselors or whatever they were at the time telling me that I wasn't smart enough, and I didn't have good enough grades to get into this program. And I thought, my gosh, I just volunteered for 2 years as a, athletic trainer or whatever with the high school teams. It had nothing to do with intelligence. I could learn the stuff. It just, my grades didn't reflect how smart I actually was. And so guess what? I never went into that program. Instead, I went into business and marketing and human resources, which I got another story for that later, because I did have an HR career briefly. But as I've gotten older, I've realized it wasn't so much about me not being good enough. I was listening to what other people said about me, that I wasn't good, I wasn't smart, I wasn't, good looking enough, I wasn't tall enough, I wasn't athletic enough. And I allowed that to change and veer my decisions and the way I held my life. Now that I've gotten older and I'm in my 40s and I've learned a lot more about my own brain, I've never been officially diagnosed with ADD or ADHD, but I know it runs in my family. And I have learned how to teach myself stuff. It still takes me a long time to learn things. Heck, videoing right now. I'm using, my iPhone to the side of me just in case the audio cops on my DJI, which it shouldn't because I've got a great microphone. And also I wanted to check the lighting on both of them. And I'm learning to edit videos, and I am learning to be better in my daily life. I think about all the times that I'd never felt worth it because people told me I wasn't worth it. I wasn't good enough. But the truth is, I am 100% good enough, and so are you. You just have to realize that you're good for the right people. Now, other people will definitely discount you, and for those people, you're not good enough, and you'll never be good enough. And that's okay. Because as long as you're good with yourself and you start acknowledging your own like strengths, weaknesses, where you excel, and you acknowledge to yourself just how important you are as a person. You know, I've got, and I mentioned this before, a great group of people around me who 100% support me. You know, I do have people who encourage me, but there's always self-doubt. And when I look at the YouTube video from the other day, I'm over 40, or after 40 years, I'll tell you what I learned about life, or I can't remember the exact title. I told a lot of truths, and sometimes telling those truths is hard because there are some emotional scars. There's some things that affected me long term. And the truth is, now that video is getting a lot of attention, I'm thinking, am I really good enough to be on YouTube? Share my stories? You know, am I worth all this attention that people are giving me? You know, I've started commenting, like responding to comments. I've gotten some great compliments, very detailed. Still no negatives yet, but we know in YouTube world it's going to happen because there's always haters out there. So just know this. I'm good enough to do whatever I want in my life. And those who want to be along for the journey will be along for the journey and will encourage me. You're good enough. You are worth it. You are special, and this world is a better place with you in it. And I strongly believe that for myself. I do believe this world's a better place with me in it. And I'm hoping that I can encourage people. You know, even if my YouTube channel inspires one person, then I've done what I wanted to do. You know, I'm not a big motivational speaker. I'm not a huge person. I'm just Mark. Just a regular human being finally stepping out of my comfort zone to share my stories. And a part of that is the insecurity of feeling that I'm not good enough. You know, and I have to remember that all of this happens for a reason. You know, I started this because I finally got over my fear. My fear of people saying, oh, it's hard, it's challenging, you can't do that. My fear of speaking out and speaking up, because for years I was muted. And even when I was unmuted for a little while, I still couldn't quite share everything that I wanted to, because, well, to be honest with you, I'd get told I was wrong. No matter what I said, even if I was right, I was still wrong. So, yeah, this was a different video than I thought I was going to do tonight. I had a different topic in mind. But I'm thankful that I am who I am, whether people like me for who I am or not. And I'm good enough. So are you. Anyways, cheers, and I'll see you on the next one.